Okay, so now we're moving on to question number 8. And question number 8 asks us about average BMI, but it requires that we calculate a new variable, body mass index, at wave 1, and we're going to use a formula based on weight in pounds and height in inches. So when we look over here at our data set, we see that we have height in feet at wave 1, height in inches at wave 1, and then also weight in pounds at wave 1. Now it's important to point out that we also have this same data at wave 3 down further in the data set. So one of the things that I'm going to do up here is I'm just going to change these names a little bit to make them easier to find so I don't make some sort of a careless mistake. So I'm going to get rid of this variable code that they've used for the huge data set because we don't really need that. Just make that simpler to find. Then I'm also going to change the names here. So I'll call this height in feet at wave 1, height in inches at wave 1, and weight at wave 1. Okay, now where I come to do my calculations is I come to transform, compute the variable. And the target variable can be any name I want. So the first thing I'm going to do to get BMI is I'm going to get total inches. So total inches at wave 1 is going to be calculated from feet, total feet at wave 1. Okay, feet at wave 1. And I'm going to put parentheses in there first. I'm clicking on the parentheses over here in the number pad. I'm going to put feet. I got to highlight that again. Put feet over here in the parentheses. And I'm going to multiply that times 12. And then I'm going to add to that the height in inches so that I get the person's total height in inches. I'm going to paste that. Then I'm going to go over to the syntax window. And I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to run it. And so what's going to happen is that then in the data set, it's going to add a new variable for me at the very bottom that is the person's height in total inches. And you see it doesn't have a label, so we may want to give it a label here so that we have that information. So it's total height measured in inches at wave 1. Okay? And if we look in the data view and again scroll all the way up to the end of the data file, you'll see that now there's this new variable that is total height measured in inches. Okay, now we still need to get BMI. So to get BMI, I'm going to again go to Transform Compute. I'm going to reset this because obviously that's not where I'm starting. And I'm going to look at my formula for BMI that I've got over here. And so I'm just going to use that formula. So I'm going to say BMI at wave 1, all right? And then I'm going to calculate that based on total inches, which I have down here, and also weight, which is up here in the middle somewhere. So here's weight in pounds, all right? So I'm going to put weight in pounds in here, and then I'm going to divide that by, and I can either type a parentheses or I can click it from the keypad. I'm going to divide that by total height, and that's going to be squared. This symbol here means raised to a certain power, so I'm going to raise it to the second power, or square it. And then I'm going to multiply the whole thing times 703. So now I'm going to paste that, go to my window, go to my syntax, run this. It'll tell me in here that I've done that calculation. I go to my data file, scroll out to the end. I'm already at the end, and here I've got BMI. Now this is interesting. You can see that the first one here in this data set has a blank value. So that means that we were missing information somewhere. I've got total inches at wave 1, but my guess is that there's a blank over here for weight at wave 1. Oh, I see. It's entered as information that they didn't have. That should be a missing variable. So if we come over here and look at weight 1, here's weight. Make this bigger. We come over here, and here are the missing values. So 998 is a missing value, so that's why it couldn't calculate BMI. So that makes sense. I'm glad that happened because that gives you a good indication of what happens if there's missing data. So it can't calculate a BMI for that person. So now to answer the question, maybe you remember how to do this now. We need descriptive data for BMI. So to get descriptive data for BMI for the whole sample, we can just come to Descriptive Statistics and click on Descriptives, and we'll get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. But what we need is BMI. So we'll highlight BMI, shoot it over there, hit Paste, come to our window, and run this. So one of the things, oh sorry, so let's go ahead and finish this problem. So again, let me pause this and I'm going to type it and I'll be right back. So I just typed in this information, taking it from this table over here, where again I should have, should have highlighted this in here so that you can see where, so that I can see later where you got your answers. So I'm going to highlight that. Okay, so that's the data that's presented here. Now one of the things I wanted to mention just before I leave you for today is that part of the reason that we paste the syntax is so that we have a running record of everything that we've done. Okay, so I can start at the beginning, I could just highlight all of this and run it, and I would get all of the same output again that I just calculated. The other thing that's nice is that if you decided that you wanted to just work from here, you've got the code that you need to do different things with different variables. So for instance, I could highlight this text that's getting descriptors for BMI. I can hit Control-C to copy it, and then I can hit Control-V to paste it, and I can put some other variable name in here, some other variable that I want, and I don't have to go back and use all the menus. In fact, in the old days, there were no menus. You had to memorize how to type in this syntax, but then you had it forever. And so you could just change a simple thing, like maybe I want to find that out for total height in inches. Okay. Now the other thing that's nice is that you can also come in here and you can put in comments. So you could, for instance, add a comment here by using an asterisk that says first, or that says syntax to answer question number 1. And then as soon as, see how it's all grayed out? That means that it's a comment, so I'm not going to be able to run frequencies until I put this period. Watch what happens when I put the period. As soon as I put the period, now that comment is off by itself, and you can see it's grayed out. It's not actually code, it's just a comment. But so you can go through and you can put in comments that help you to remember what you were doing with these various codes. So I'd encourage you to use this, especially particularly when you start actually doing your own data analyses, because this really helps to have this record of what you've done, and also to have it commented so you kind of remember what you were thinking whenever you were doing your data analyses. All right, well, great stuff. We're done with the first problem. This was the in-class portion. Make sure now that you go back to Canvas, get the computer number 1 assignment. That's for you to do on your own. And then at the end, you're going to turn in your syntax file, your output file, and also in this case your no, don't worry about turning in the data file. Just turn in your output file, your syntax file, and obviously the Word document that we've been working on. All right, great stuff. See you later.